San Antonio starts right now.
Hey there, good morning. It is Monday, May 13th. Thanks for being with us. Did you have a nice Mother's Day?
I was going to ask you the same thing. Yes, we did. It was nice and relaxing, and I got to see my mom, so that was a treat. What about you? How was your Mother's Day?
I had a great day. The kids, they're little, so we do whatever we can that's minimal.
Yes. Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed it, and I hope you all had a wonderful Mother's Day weekend as well. The weather worked out, I think, for the most part.
Early.
Yes.
Later on, it was miserable.
Yeah.
Oh, that's putting it mildly. Yeah, I was outside doing some yard work in the afternoons. Oh my goodness, that humidity came back up. It was like what it was last week. Now, it is slightly lower this morning. We still have plenty in the way of humidity out there as of right now. Very warm temperatures, 71 degrees, about 5 above normal. And that bottom number, dew points at 70. Yesterday afternoon, that was up around 74. I mean, that's window dripping kind of humidity. Like I said, it has come down slightly, but it's really darn humid out there. We've got some mist, some fog, 90 high temperature today. One thing we're going to have to be on the lookout for because the atmosphere is extremely volatile today. More on that in just a second. The aquifer went up 0.2 of a foot in yesterday's reading, and the allergens, all we have out there right now is mold. So first things first, we have some fog to deal with, especially if you head on up toward the hill country up I-10, as you can see down to a half-mile visibility right now at Bernie, 1.25 miles at Kerrville, some heading out west on 90 as well as east and northeast on 35 as well as on 10, and just 3 miles visibility out there at the airport right now. A little bit of mist on top of that as well. Again, everybody is on the above normal side, upper 60s, low 70s, ton of humidity out there. And like I said, this is what is helping to make the atmosphere extremely volatile. Looking at some of the numbers, they are just off the charts. And I'm going to jump ahead now. I think this computer model kind of rushes things as far as getting something going this morning, but by especially mid to late morning hours, we are going to see a few thunderstorms trying to develop, and then later on this afternoon. And some of these are definitely going to be on the strong to severe side. As a matter of fact, and if memory serves me correctly, we haven't seen this yet this season here in town, this huge area of the enhanced risk for severe weather, this orange area, which is a 3 on a scale of 1 to 5. So this means, again, volatile atmosphere. Doesn't take much to get potentially severe storms. All of the areas under the risk for severe weather. But again, San Antonio, Pleasanton going out 10, going up I-35, and very large hail are going to be the biggest threats, as well as high winds with this. 82 at noon. 90 high temperature. We start to see a few storms develop. We have some fog left over this morning, and then they are going to come to an end by just after dinner time here in town and continue down to the southeast. So we will see just a little bit of clearing with this front that is going to be moving through. But we are definitely going to have to watch out late this morning into this afternoon for some potentially strong storms. More on that and a look ahead to the weekend coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Mr. Marquez, good morning, sir. What's going on? Anything?
All right, Mike. Yeah, off to a little bit of a busy start on Monday morning. By the way, welcome back, Mike. Missed you out here. Yes, as we take a look at 151 and Loop 410, you see TransGuide officials right now kind of adjusting the camera to give us an idea of what we're looking at here in the 410, 151 area on the west side of town. And looks like we have an accident here in this area. Again, this just popped up on TxDOT's website, and looks like TransGuide trying to give us a better look exactly what is happening out there. So we will continue to follow the very latest as we make our way through our entire morning. Let's go back to our maps here because, again, I just put this up on our traffic maps right now. Again, it's been reported 410 westbound is going to be all of our traffic coming basically south to 151. It looks like it's one of the ramps headed over to 151. But again, we will continue to get more information on what exactly is going on there for all of our folks and our drivers on the west side of town, northwest side, I-10 westbound at Crossroads Boulevard. We see that traffic is still moving in this area despite reports of a stalled vehicle there, not causing too many delays for the moment in that part of town, the Crossroads area, Balcones Heights. Last week it's very busy there. There was a pretty big wreck, but again, not seeing too many delays at that moment right now. So again, biggest thing we're seeing right now, 410, 151. We have a crash being reported in that area. I'll get on the phone with TransGuide, try and get more information on that. But everything else across the city, including some construction from the weekend, looks like that has picked up, and everything else is pretty much smooth sailing across the San Antonio area. Stephanie, Patty, back to you guys.
Thank you, RJ. Well, it's now been nearly a week since 2 gunmen fired 30 rounds into a northeast Bexar County townhome, killing a 4-year-old girl and leaving her parents and 2 siblings critically injured. A car matching the description of their getaway car has been found. But those two suspects that you see on your screen are still out there. If you know who these people are or where they could be, you can help detectives get them off the streets. You can call the Bexar County Sheriff's Office if you know anything.
Now on to one of our top trending stories this morning on KSAT.com. It's bloody and an illegal sport that often slips under the radar.
Yeah, several cockfighting events have been busted in Texas this year. And now the Bexar County Sheriff's Office has just raided one in the southern part of the county. Daniela Ibarra tells us how the community helped stop this crime.
Roosters pitted against each other to fight for their lives. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office executed a search warrant Saturday to save them.
It's an epidemic. We've got to do something about it. And the way it happens is one by one.
Wayne Pacelli is the president of Animal Wellness Action, which works to stop animal cruelty. He says what happens at cockfights is horrifying.
And the recent bust in Bexar County shows exactly the true face of this ugly, barbaric, crime-ridden enterprise.
At this South Bexar County property, deputies say they found drugs, guns, and around 200 roosters. Some have injuries. BCSO Deputy Chief Nancy Sanford says 47 spectators were cited.
And it was early, so there probably would have been more coming to the event, but we felt like we didn't want any of the roosters to get harmed, so we felt like we should go in there, raid it sooner than later.
Deputies also arrested the suspected organizer, Paul Morales, on a felony charge. Sanford says BCSO has raided a few cockfights since 2017.
I believe it's going on, and we would like to find more of them.
Sanford says an anonymous tip led them to bust this one.
We can't just leave it to the police. We need the police and prosecutors, but we're the eyes and ears that can sniff out illegal activities and report them.
Records show Morales has since bonded out of jail, and he's expected in court for hearing next month. Daniela Ibarra, KSAT 12 News.
And later today, the U.S. Coast Guard will remove a large piece of the Francis Scott Key Bridge near Baltimore. It was supposed to happen over the weekend, but weather delayed it. Small explosives will be used to break apart the chunk of the bridge that's still sitting on top of the cargo ship that crashed into the bridge back in March. Meanwhile, the House Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure is planning to hold a hearing on the investigation this Wednesday.
This morning, Israeli officials have vowed to expand their operation against Hamas fighters in the southern Gaza city of Rafah until a hostage deal is reached. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says Israel lacks a credible plan to protect the more than 1 million Palestinians who have taken refuge in that city since the war began. The State Department is also saying it's possible Israel may have violated international law during the war. Meanwhile, fighting has returned to northern Gaza, where an airstrike narrowly missing several journalists this weekend.
This morning, the expected star witness in former President Trump's hush money trial is set to take a stand.
As ABC's Perry Russin reports, Michael Cohen will testify against the former President Trump about his role in paying Stormy Daniels $130,000.
The man prosecutors say was at the center of a scheme to deny voters information in the 2016 election is set to take the stand this morning. Michael Cohen. Prosecutors say Cohen was the one who fronted the money to pay off Stormy Daniels, so voters would not hear her claim of a sexual encounter with former President Trump, an encounter Trump denies.
The key element of his testimony is linking Donald Trump to the direction to pay off Stormy Daniels and to falsify the business records to hide those that payoff and pretend that it's an actual legal expenses.
The jury has seen the wire transfer, invoices prepared by Cohen, the monthly checks from Trump to reimburse him, and the ledger entries where Trump called the payments legal expenses. And the jury has heard this recording of Cohen talking about Trump.
I can't even tell you how many times he said to me, I hate the fact that we did it. And my comment to him was, but every person that you've spoken to told you it was the right move.
Trump denies all wrongdoing. Trump with a rare campaign rally on Saturday, mocking the prosecutor who brought this case, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg.
Carried out by radical Democrat District Attorney. You know who he is? Fat Alvin.
After hearing from Stormy Daniels last week, Cohen is expected to be the star witness in this case. The defense has called Cohen a liar with an obsession to get Trump. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
Well, the San Antonio Spurs are pumped up, and so are we, after learning that they will be picking in this summer's NBA draft. So the Spurs will be picking twice. In the first 8 picks, and again, that's happening next month, picks 4 and 8 belong to San Antonio in a year where there's no consensus on the overall best player. So you can watch the Spurs make their picks live on KSAT 12. Again, that date is Wednesday, June 26th.
Sure, you mark that on your calendar out there. Yeah. Time right now, 5:10, 71 degrees out there.
Well, that's ahead why Google Wallet is dropping support for some of its Android and Wear OS devices.
It's commonly known as the most secure location in the White House. Up next, for the first time since its $50 million renovation, we'll give you a first look inside the Situation Room.
And let's look out there with live cam. Kind of foggy in some areas. I was driving into work and I could see some buildings out there, but the Tower of Americas was a little hard to see with that fog. So be careful on your way out. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back. Time now is 5:14. So today we are getting an exclusive look inside the White House Situation Room, the most secure location in the White House. ABC's Rihanna Nally has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, an ABC News exclusive. For the first time since its $50 million renovation, George Stephanopoulos is taking us inside the White House's Situation Room with National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan.
A lot of the history that is written day to day in American foreign policy is lived out in this room.
Situation Room officers, the most apolitical men and women in the White House, serving the presidency, no matter what their political party.
What do you think the American people should know about this group of professionals that are brought in from every part of the government?
This is a group of people who stand watch on behalf of the American people.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have much more of George Stephanopoulos' exclusive access to the Situation Room. With your GMA First Look, I'm Rihanna Nally, ABC News, New York.
All right, time right now, 5:15, 71 degrees out there, and it's going to get pretty hot later today.
Well, coming up next, how the recent solar storms are disrupting farming tractors during a very critical planting time.
And taking a look outside right now, that you're looking at State Highway 151 at Loop 410 West. We see some flashing lights there. We're going to have RJ coming up in a few minutes to tell us what's going on out there. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Waverhood.
The Wayfair vibe at our place is Western.
My thing, darling, shine.
Gardening.
Some of us go for the dramatic.
How didn't I know Weaver had vanities in tile? Oh!
This? Yeah. Do you have any ottomans without legs?
Sean, you'll flip for the proof card.
In the Waverhood, there's a place for all of us.
Wayfair, every style, every home. Nature's Bounty Hair Growth. Help grow thicker, fuller hair with just 1 capsule a day of Advanced Hair Complex. Conquer hair thinning.
And fall in love with your hair all over again.
Only from Nature's Bounty.
Lactate is 100% real milk, just without the lactose. Delicious, too. Just ask my old friend Kevin.
Nothing like enjoying a cold one while watching the game. Who's winning?
We are, my friend. We are.
Workers at the first Apple store to unionize have now authorized a strike. ABC's Rihanna Ali has the details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, a labor dispute at Apple. Workers at one Apple store in Maryland have authorized a strike. They are demanding higher wages and changes to what they call unpredictable scheduling practices. Apple says it is working with the union in good faith to reach an agreement. Next, Google Wallet is getting rid of support for old Android and Wear operating systems. In a change taking effect next month, the payment service will require phones to have Android 9 or higher and smartwatches to have at least have OS 2X. Google cited security as the reason. And the solar storms producing the northern lights are no friend to farmers' equipment. The events are messing with the GPS systems and tractors. The systems are said to be extremely compromised. One farmer in South Dakota described his tractors going in circles after the automatic steering malfunctioned. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Hey guys, welcome back.
Yes, and then we were just talking about Mother's Day weekend and then how, you know, the weather worked out the early part.
Saturday afternoon was great, and yesterday morning was not bad, but by the afternoon.
I had a little baseball game. We were miserable out there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
At least they won.
In the afternoon, right?
Yes. At least they won.
We will get a slight break in the humidity, but first.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Hey, you know what? We just saw that video there, the Northern Lights. Pretty cool stuff, especially around some folks around here got to see some of that. But these are the kind of lights we do not like to see, especially in the morning. And you could see them off there in the distance there. Unfortunately, our banner is covering what TransGuide's showing us right now. So again, this is the connector ramps there for 410 to 151 westbound. So again, this is going to be for both eastbound and westbound traffic there. 410 going onto 151. This is being reported as a single vehicle crash right now, and we do have at least one main lane blocked in this area. It's going to be that right lane there that connects again 410 to 151 west. Let's take a look at our maps and see exactly if we're seeing any sort of backup here. We're seeing a little bit of buildup in some of our traffic. So again, 410 west and eastbound ramp, 151, that's going to be the ramp, the connector ramp to 151 for all of our drivers in that area. But again, we are still seeing traffic move through, so that's some good news for now. The rest of the city, everything else is looking pretty good. We have a stalled vehicle that has been cleared out. That was at I-10 westbound at Crossroads Boulevard. So we're good to go in terms of the rest of the city of San Antonio. Wanted to show you another couple of TransGuide traffic cameras because again, we're dealing with some humid conditions out there, maybe some damp roads. Look at this camera there, 281 San Pedro. You could just see sort of the little bit of raindrops on the camera there as well. Some mist, 281 St. Mary's, same situation there as well. All right, Mike. Yeah, it was definitely feeling sticky just stepping outside the door this morning, and we know a lot of folks are definitely feeling that today.
Even though, the humidity is down a little bit compared to yesterday. That's just compared to yesterday afternoon because it was just outrageously humid. So still very humid. And as you were just talking about, RJ, over there by San Pedro and 410, 281 410 area, just west of here. And this is the airport camera. And you can see, looks like 410 maybe a little bit on the damp side this morning. Visibility has dropped down to 3/4 of a mile at Bernie, a little bit better in Kerrville, 3 at the airport, and 2 up the road in New Braunfels. A lot of thick fog heading out 10. So we'll be dealing with this throughout the rest of the morning. Actually, dew points are up slightly compared to this time yesterday morning. Remember, it wasn't bad in the morning yesterday after the humidity had dropped down somewhat on Saturday. Now, with the humidity sticking around throughout the day, then notice the drier air out there to the west. That's going to be coming in here throughout the day tomorrow, actually. And so we're actually going to have some fairly pleasant weather by the afternoon tomorrow, but it's going to be really hot. First of all, though, we have to deal with today. So mist, a little bit of fog around here. And then we're going to start to see more showers and thunderstorms developing by late morning and then going into the afternoon. We are going to make it up to 90 later on today, and we'll have some of those thunderstorms out there. So here's what radar is picking up as of right now. This is just a little bit of kind of some clutter, maybe some mist in here, but a few showers down to the southwest, down 35 south of Cotulla, down along the coast as well. Here's a little bit different computer model than the one I showed right off the top of the show. This one is not as aggressive as getting storms going in the hill country this morning. A couple of them down there right around Eagle Pass. Then as we go into late morning, close to noon, some of those will continue to brew out there and really blow up and maybe potentially severe by late morning and then going into early afternoon. Then sort of a second wave comes through here tonight. This particular model does kind of rush things along a little bit more, though. Now, as far as the severe risk, and again, we don't see this too often with the 3 on a scale of 1 to 5, the enhanced risk for severe weather. San Antonio, Pleasanton, going up I-35, going out 10, a good chance for and very large hail. The way the atmosphere is set up, all the numbers are just off the charts as far as the volatility of the atmosphere later on this afternoon. So we're definitely going to have to keep a lookout for this. Then with the front that's moving on through here, Like I said, we're going to have a drop in the humidity, so it's going to be fairly pleasant tomorrow in the shade because we're going to be up to 94. It's going to be sizzling. Another chance of rain then comes in Thursday, Friday. And as of right now, albeit somewhat on the warm side, the upcoming weekend looks pretty nice. More after this.
Jeff Bridges is set to bring a literature icon to the big screen in his latest project.
CNN's Rick Damigella has more in the Hollywood Minute.
And Mr. Bridges. Jeff Bridges lands a monstrous new role. The actor is set to play classic fictional creature Grendel in a new live-action movie from the Jim Henson Company. Dave Bautista has been cast opposite the star as Beowulf in the upcoming fantasy flick.
Mum, we're going to have to carry you out of here if you don't want to leave by your own.
Oh, good luck with that.
Ewan McGregor faces new family drama. The actor stars alongside Ellen Burstyn in Mother Couch as the son of a woman who refuses to leave a sofa at a furniture store. This is your first look at the tense drama, which arrives in theaters in July. The Easter Seals Disability Film Challenge winners have been announced. Peter Farrelly was on hand as Audio Description was named Best Film at the 11th annual event on Thursday. The challenge honors projects that promote disability inclusion. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Time right now, 5:28, 71 degrees out there right now.
The San Antonio group is going to the next level to eradicate bullying in schools, how they're getting their message across and where they're headed next. Welcome back. It's 5:31. We hope you had a wonderful weekend, and we're starting this morning not as humid as it was late in the afternoon.
But it's still really darn humid. Yeah, when you step outside this morning.
Not like when you were mowing the lawn, though.
Yeah. That was a mistake yesterday. Anyway, we are on the lookout for some potentially very strong storms later on this afternoon. The atmosphere, all this humidity out there is really making things very, very volatile in the atmosphere. So once the stuff starts developing later on, it can get strong very quickly and potentially severe. Out there by the airport, you can see all that kind of fuzz hanging out there. Can't even see the control tower out there. And it does look like 410 is a little bit on the damp side. We've got obviously some fog, a little bit of mist thrown in there as well. Temperatures at 71 degrees. Normal low is mid 60s right now. So on average, 5 degrees above normal around the area. That number, dew point, that's very high when you hit 70. Now, yesterday afternoon, it was 74 degrees. And then last week, remember, we had that just brutally, ridiculously high humidity in the morning. It was 76 or so. So it is down compared to yesterday afternoon, but still, that's really humid. Not much wind out there right now. 3/4 mile visibility at Bernie. So go out 10, you're going to run into some fog. And same thing, 35, as well as going east on 10. Not bad down around Stinson, as well as Pleasanton as of right now, but we'll continue to keep this fog around. And fog most everywhere, especially kind of the northern half of our area where some of the thickest fog is. And we also have some rain showing up right now, just a few showers. What we're going to have to watch out for is out here to the west later on this morning. About 10, 11 o'clock is when we're going to start to see some of these cells developing, looking at some of the computer models, and those are going to get strong very quickly, very easily, like I said, with this volatile atmosphere. Upper 60s and low 70s all around the area as of right now. And we, again, are under an enhanced risk for strong to severe storms. This is a 3 on a scale of 1 to 5. So it's up the I-35 corridor, down to Pleasanton, and then up to the northeast of there. Very large hail is going to be the biggest threats with this, as well as some high winds on top of it. Like I said, we're going to start to see things develop late this morning and then into the afternoon hours. But then most of this is going to be through here by later on this evening. So here's what it looks like. Mist and fog, warm and humid this morning. Then scattered storms, some severe, large hail, the biggest threats. By tonight then, the rain's going to be ending. We'll have some clearing, especially off to the west. So you may have an opportunity to see late tonight some of the northern lights in the overnight hours, like from about 10 till 2 in the morning tomorrow morning. Then we go into the rest of the day tomorrow. Good looking day. It's going to be hot, but at least we'll have a break in the humidity by the afternoon. Details in the forecast just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, RJ, what's going on?
All right, Mike, yeah, you can definitely feel that stickiness and that humidity when you step outside. And if you are about to step outside, especially a lot of our folks out in the west side of town, 151 Loop 410, we have a crash that officials have been dealing with now for the better part of about 20 minutes or so. So we're seeing here on the upper right-hand part of this camera here is unfortunately our banner is kind of blocking it just a little bit. And we'll ask our folks over at TransGuide, they could kind of adjust the camera for us here during our next traffic segment. So basically the connector ramp from 410, that's going to be the eastbound, westbound lanes of 410 to 151 west. We have a crash being reported in that area. Now we are seeing traffic move through there, so that's good news. They haven't completely shut down that ramp from 410 to 151, but again, causing a little bit of delays there for our folks on that side of town as we take a look at that incident there on the west side, 151, 410. The rest of the city, everything else looking pretty good. This just popped up on our maps, though. It looks like it's in the southbound lanes of 410 at I-10 on the east side of town. So I'll check exactly what's going on there on the east side. Again, 410, I-10. But again, biggest thing we're seeing right now, 410, 151. That seems to be the biggest incident at the moment. As we give you one more quick look at our TransGuide traffic cameras, put you back on the rotating shot, see if we get a couple more shots here. And let's see, yeah, there we go, 410, 151. You kind of see a different angle there of that crash. And now we're looking at some other cameras, I-10 and Proban, and seeing just some of the conditions if you are about to step outside right now on your Monday morning. Patty, 70, back to you guys.
Thanks. One San Antonio group is taking social media by storm, and there's a powerful message behind their videos.
Avery Everett shows us how the men and women behind the anti-bully gang are spreading their message with the help of the internet.
Hi.
A hello and a handshake.
Hi. What's your name?
Are usually the first steps in friendship.
You got the smile of a winner. You know that?
But in this friend group, the sights and the sounds bring a whole lot more than just any simple greeting.
We're all your friends, so we got your back too.
This is the anti-bully gang.
We help them with confidence. We keep in touch with them. We make sure that they're okay.
A group based in San Antonio trying to stop bullying and spread positivity. And King Kyle Lee started it all.
Kids need to know that they are loved and people have their back.
He's taking action in the real world and putting it out on social media. Now millions of people are hearing his message, and he's trying to take this movement nationwide.
Somebody was over here getting bullied.
They've showed up for dozens of kids and created dozens of social media videos.
Man, we back at it, man. We want them to see who has their back and who cares about them and who pulls up for them. We heard that your favorite G-Wagon.
After a parent reaches out asking for help, these men and women show up in the school pickup line, all decked out in style, to deliver an important message.
When I talk to the kids, I ask them one question. Do y'all like to be bullied? No. Okay, well, why is anybody bullying? So me and my homies had to pull up, man.
What may look like just any TikTok trend is actually about building real connections and changing lives, like Adam Taggle.
He's like kind of like your brother that stands like in the front of the Blues to go to make them go away.
Adam says it was hard making friends in middle school. His mom says he was struggling to show up each morning. That's when she reached out to the anti-bully gang.
He had smiled for the first time in about 2 years. He was smiling, he was happy, he wanted to go to school.
A success story.
It's brought my son back.
And a forever friendship.
Hey, if a kid's getting bullied, do y'all love them? Yeah! Yeah, you got people back here that love you.
As the engines kick in and this caravan takes off, King Kyle Lee says his work has only begun to stop bullying in San Antonio.
No, it's gonna take a while, but it could happen.
So you may be wondering, when are they going to hit the road next, or where are they going? Well, they went to Houston this past week, and they say they're planning a nationwide road trip soon. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
Well, most universities are trying to hold graduation ceremonies despite concerns over protesting. However, Pomona College outside Los Angeles says it decided ahead of last night's service to move it off campus for safety reasons. That's in response to demonstrators occupying the original venue. In North Carolina, video shows about 30 students at Duke University walking out of Sunday's ceremony. Another walkout was at Virginia Commonwealth University Saturday, and chanting disrupted UC Berkeley's ceremony the same day.
Well, have you noticed that it's costing more and more to eat out? Fast food customers may soon have some new value options.
Well, as ABC's Rhiannon Alley reports, some of the most popular restaurant chains are telling customers, "We hear you," amid a revolt against rising prices.
This morning, fast food fans reacting to word that McDonald's is planning to add a $5 value meal to its menu as it responds to a drop in sales. Inflation taking a toll, the chain getting grilled by customers amid reports of a Big Mac value meal approaching $18 in parts of the country.
A big share of McDonald's clients are low-income consumers. And so those people, low-income consumers, are really feeling the pinch right now. And maybe they are not necessarily eating at restaurants. Maybe they're just eating at home.
The Golden Arches now looking to better compete with Wendy's $5 Biggie Meal and Burger King's 2 for $5 option. Fast food prices in March were 33% higher than in 2019, and labor costs are surging.
I used to eat McDonald's a lot on the job sites. It's quick and easy and cheap, but not really anymore. It's not that cheap anymore. So I'm not really saving the money I thought I would by going to McDonald's or any sort of fast food.
Casual restaurant chains like Red Lobster also seeing red, now considering bankruptcy, while Applebee's and Chili's offer bargain burgers and other discounts. Even small-town kitchens are feeling the heat. Des Moines, Iowa, seeing several restaurants close their doors, citing higher costs, as well as COVID-era loans coming due. As for those fast food fanatics, they have this simple message.
I'm a fast food girl through and through, but please lower your prices. So you can't go up any further. You can't.
McDonald's has not commented on the potential $5 meal. Local franchises would be part of the pricing conversation before the menu change. Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
Time now is 5:41 and 71 degrees for now.
A local high school graduate who is also a Syrian-born immigrant was 5 when a war broke out. For years, her family lived in a school made into a shelter. Up next, how determination and perseverance is finally leading her to walk the graduation stage.
And looking out there with a live cam, a little foggy, a little humid out there this morning, but be prepared for some storms this afternoon, especially if you're traveling in the traffic hours of 5 p.m. We're going to check in with Mike for all those details coming up. Welcome back. It's 5:44. So today we are applauding a local high school senior who's had a long and difficult journey to reach graduation day.
Yeah, the Clark High School 18-year-old is thanking her teachers who helped her get this far. And war, medical problems, and learning a new language wasn't going to stop this teen.
You don't have to search far to see where Hajar Abdulman gets her determination.
My mom left her family. Left everyone to save us, me and my little sister. It's kind of difficult. It was hard for her, but she made me and my siblings stronger and believe in ourselves.
The Syrian-born immigrant was 5 when a war broke out. For 2 years, her family lived in a school made into a shelter.
It was very difficult because we didn't have food or drink, water to drink, clear water. I remember running with my little sister to go get water from the river and come back and drink it. But it was very scary.
With the nearest hospital destroyed in the war, Hajar and her sister needed to leave Syria to get life-saving medical treatment.
We kind of escaped from Syria to Turkey. And when we went to Turkey, they did a little test to check if we're actually sick. And the test came positive. We stayed in Turkey for about 3 years.
Still needing a bone marrow transplant, the 11-year-old was able to come to the United States as a refugee.
With my family, they believed in me and they told me, you'll learn English.
When we look at her journey, it's definitely one of perseverance. It's one of not giving up.
Paige Vetter is one of several teachers that have helped Hajar through school. She also knows her family and feels a close bond with them.
She got a heart of gold. So again, the type of student that you just wish you could copy, paste, and have a whole classroom full of.
In 1 month, Hajar will walk the graduation stage. At one time, her goal was to become a doctor and help kids like her, but that's changing.
I'm not really sure, because I'm kind of tired of going to the hospital and stuff, to be honest. I always go to the hospital every 3 weeks.
It was our honor and it was our joy to teach Hajar.
One thing's for sure. The Clark High School grad is full of gratitude to everyone who's been a part of her journey.
And really, this all started because she told her principal, like, I want a venue to be able to tell all my teachers, thank you for getting me here. So that's how we found out about her.
Well, congrats to Hajar. She's been through so much.
Yeah,
so much.
And here she is. We can't wait to see what else she does.
Yes, we will see, but not a doctor.
She's
something else.
Probably not.
Yeah,
she's over the hospitals. Time right now, 5:47, 71 degrees out there.
Well, let's look out there with TransGuide. Looking at this shot at I-35, things are moving, and looking at another shot, we had some problems on the roadways, but I'm going to check in with RJ Marcus about that problem in just a minute.
5:50 right now. Happy Monday to everyone. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. If you're about to step outside right now, west side of town, got a major incident out there at 151 and Loop 410 westbound. So this is our connector ramp that goes from 410, basically both directions, east and westbound of 410 to 151. Seeing a crash in that area right now. So we have the right lane blocked. Now we are still seeing traffic get through here as you see some of these cars make their way through this accident, but officials have been out here for some time now dealing with some of this mess that we are seeing out here. Want to see if I could give you another shot here. And this is basically the ramp going up to that crash right now. So obviously be careful if you're about to head out. This is connecting 410 to 151 westbound. Let's see the maps real quick. And again, we are seeing traffic get through this area. So that's good news for now, but we do expect things to kind of pick up here as we get closer at 6 o'clock hour. We have a stalled vehicle being reported southbound 410 at I-10. So this is that incident we saw earlier. It looks like the entry ramp to I-10 may also be closed in this area here as well. So again, we are seeing a little bit of build up here for all of our folks, all of our drivers coming in from the 410 southbound area on the east side of town. Okay, overnight construction. We still have that going on. Obviously, that's going to be a big part over the next week and a half or so. So we're going to see nightly closures on 1604. This is a new closure here, 1604 eastbound from Hardy Oak all the way to Boverde Road. So we're going to have the eastbound lanes that are going to be closed every night through May 21st. That's going to be taking place 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. We're also going to have the flyover ramps that connect 281 north and southbound to 1604. That's also going to be closed throughout the duration of this construction taking place there as well. So again, we'll run into that when we get there, but the biggest thing that we're seeing right now, Loop 410, 151, we do have that crash, so we reported on the west side of town. And guys, yeah, it's not a great start to our Monday morning for sure. Mike?
Well, maybe due to some of that mist and drizzle out there as well with some of the fog that we have in place. Actually, looks like it has gotten slightly better looking out by the airport, but notice the reflection on the road. I think the road may be on the dampish side with some of the mist out there. Fog heading up into the hill country, going up 35. New Braunfels down to just 1.75 miles, as well as heading off. A lot of fog around Seguin as of right now, but then you go down to the south side of town, not much out there. All right, the atmosphere is very, very volatile today, and so we have got a very good chance for some strong to severe storms later on. So from San Antonio up I-35 up toward Austin, Pleasanton going out I-10 to the east as well. This is an enhanced risk for severe weather, meaning it's a very good chance that a storm pops up, it is going to become severe quite easily. Large hail, very large hail is going to be the biggest threat with this, as well as high winds. And then obviously all of the area has at least some sort of a threat for severe weather, but this is a 3 on a scale of 1 to 5 here, which means a very good chance. Here's what's going on radar right now. Not a lot, obviously. We've got some of these showers down here to the southwest, but we're going to have to watch these as we go, especially into mid-late morning, as they start to blossom and build up. It's not going to take much, because once they get going, they're going to really, really start to kind of explode, if you will. Here's a computer model. Now, this one is initiating with some of these storms out here. I think this kind of overdoes it. As a matter of fact, a later model run or a later run on this particular model does not have these here. But what we're looking at by late morning is more of these cells popping up around here, and maybe kind of a lull in the action. But then it really gets going by later on this afternoon with some of these stronger storms that move through right around dinner time and then going into the evening hours. And this is along a front which is going to move on through here. It will push through quite quickly, and so in behind that we are going to be seeing some potentially some clearing skies and potentially good viewing weather for some of the northern lights later on tonight. Temperatures today, we are going to make it up to 82 at noon. We'll start to see more of those storms developing and then top off at 90 later on this afternoon. And then over the next few days, tomorrow is going to be even hotter, up to 94. Slightly lower humidity though, and a few more clouds on Wednesday, Thursday. Another chance, another one of these weak fronts moves through here. Chance of rain Thursday into Friday, and actually the weekend is not looking too bad. More after this.
We know fostering and adopting kids is a huge commitment. KSAT Community is hosting a phone bank tomorrow just for that. SJRC Taxes and Belong will help you figure out all the information that you need. That phone bank is tomorrow from noon to 7. And lots more still to come on Good Morning San Antonio. A quick check of the trans guide. RJ Marquez will tell us if there's any delays out there in your morning commute coming up next.